Hello everyone, welcome back to the Florida Tips for Brits podcast. Episode 1, proper. Last time was episode 0.
Okay.
Kirsty was looking at me then like we did.
Like,
we did an episode already,
one.
right? We did, but that's called an episode 0. It's where you get to know people a little bit better.
I'm not clued up on all this.
Yeah, well, one of us is a professional.
Not me.
Well, it's not me either. I was thinking it was you. We might be in trouble. Welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. Or hello, if you're finding us for the first time. We're glad you're here. Thanks for checking us out.
You're looking very Hawaiian this time.
Yeah, you know what? I thought I'd rep the Hawaiian shirt. We'd go with the floral number with the t-shirt.
These are a Florida favourite.
These are a Florida favourite. You know what? I'm going to jazz it up. I'm going to keep it.
You and my dad. My dad loves the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, one of us is going to have to change sometimes because he's got some of the same ones as us. But you know how it is. I thought I'd rep the Florida vibes proper this time.
Loving it.
Yeah. Also, got my Disney cup. This is Cinderella Castle cup.
We actually forgot about that cup. I
found it recently and it's become an all-time favourite.
Yeah, I like it. Looks like a sturdy mug.
Let's just say this is coffee.
It is coffee. Oh.
Let's just say this is coffee.
It isn't coffee.
It's going to be a fun podcast. That gives you a little clue about what we're talking about today. Cinderella Castle, because we wanted to make a podcast just talking a little bit about, what did we decide we were going to call this one? Something along the lines of 10 must-dos at Disney World, or something like that. It's going to be called something like that.
Especially people on their first trip that have never been before.
Right, now...
Know nothing about theme parks or anything.
Okay, I do just want to say, we were coming up with this list, and it got a bit stressy.
He was stressed, I wasn't.
I got far, far too stressed about this list because, honestly, there are way many more things than 10 that you need to be doing.
Exactly,
if you're going to Walt Disney World. But we have to pick 10. It is
hard to pin it down to 10.
No, it really is. Yeah. It really is. So I did get a bit stressed. Got a little bit... Would you say I got a little bit angry earlier on? I got a little bit annoyed. I don't know. I was getting myself all worked up, and Kirsty was like, "Come on, just pick 10 things." So anyway, we've managed to come up with a list of 10 things that if we had to, these are the things that we would say to people. You can't miss this.
Yeah, because I often say to people that are going for the first time.
We get asked a lot, don't we? Like, what should we do?
Don't miss this ride. Don't miss this ride at this park. And. I think it's just giving people the heads up of, what you need to do when you're there. Absolutely.
So, a little bit of ground rules, and I am going to look at my notes here so I don't forget. Okay, so this list that we're going to go through now is not necessarily what we personally would do at Disney World. That's not to say that we don't enjoy these things, but like, for example, my favourite thing to do when I go to places like Magic Kingdom is like ride the People Mover.
He loves it.
I love it. Love the People Mover. It's a lot of people's favourites. But if I had one day at the Magic Kingdom, would it necessarily be the one thing that I'd say that people needed to do? You okay?
Yeah, I'm just coughing over here.
That's fine. It's okay. We'll allow it. So, spoiler, the People Mover's not on this list. Also, we have made certain assumptions for this list. So, we've done it as if every member of your party would be tall enough to ride all of the rides or what have you.
Of course.
Okay, so this list might be somewhat different if you've got smaller kids.
It's not in any particular order either, is
also,
it?
It's not in any particular order. It's not like a top 10. God, that would have sent me over the edge if I had to actually limit.
How could you even do that?
We'll probably do some top 10s, but this one would have just been...
That would be difficult to select.
I'd have had a nervous breakdown. That'd have been too much. So we haven't done that. So it's just 10 things that we reckon that you need to do. So it does assume that you are tall enough, though, to do rides, because there's some rides on this list. Not everything's a ride.
Attractions.
There are some shows. Also, we've not done any food or anything like that, because we weren't going to have food, okay? We are going to do a podcast on the things that we would recommend if you do have kids, because, as you might be aware, we've got 5 kids, and so we've got lots of experience of what is good stuff to do with them as well. So we'll do that, but we'll do it in a separate one. So this is just assuming that everybody is, you know, up there. All right, so with all that being said, let's get it off to a start. And the first thing we would recommend that anybody do if you're going to, it's not the first thing. I don't want to. This sounds bad. I don't know. It's not a top 10, is it?
No,
not a top 10. It's just we're going to start. We need to start somewhere. So we're going to start Animal Kingdom, and one of the first things I would recommend that you do is that you go and you check out Pandora World of Avatar. So if somebody sat me down and said, "What's one of the things I should do when I go to that?" You need to go and check out Pandora.
Most definitely. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Now, we're cheating a little bit here because actually what we mean is Flight of Passage, which is a ride within Pandora. But...
yeah, there's a couple of major rides there, isn't there?
Yes. There are, for those of you who don't know, there are 2 rides within the Pandora World of Avatar section of Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
You've got Flight of Passage and you've got the Na'vi River Journey boat ride. Very different rides. The Na'vi River Journey boat ride is a gentle bob through some water, would you say?
Yeah, it's really relaxing, actually. It's a cool experience, actually, yeah.
And it's a nice ride, but really what you're there for is Flight of Passage, which is...
mind-blowing. It really is.
It's a pretty amazing attraction.
Yeah, I mean, it literally took my breath away. Yeah, I came out and I was like...
You rode it when it first opened. Kirsty rode it before I did. And she came off and she was just like, best ride ever.
Yeah, I was just raving.
Stop
raving,
it. Put a fork in me, I'm done. That's it. We may as well go
Colour
home.
press. It's the best ride ever.
So
much theming, though, in Pandora, isn't there?
Pandora as a whole.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like the rides, even if you're not a fan of the movie, it's a thing of beauty.
Oh, yeah,
isn't it?
I mean...
the theming is like...
it's just, yeah, it's
off
out
the
of
chain.
this world.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's great. And it's, you know, night and day, it's amazing to look at, you know, there's so much to see. And
beautiful in the daytime, and it's... I'm going to say it's magical at night time. It's magical, isn't it? They have a lot of the bioluminescence. If you've seen the film Avatar, you'll know what I'm talking about. But basically, in the movie, they're in like the jungle, the forest, and the forest kind of glows with bioluminescent colours. So what they've done is they've painted a lot of bioluminescent type stuff. I don't know if it's
really
infrared. It's like
glows.
UV reflective or something.
Yeah, it glows, doesn't it?
Yeah,
at night.
they shine it at night, and it looks really,
the
really,
sounds
really,
as well
really
when
pretty.
you're walking through there as well.
Yeah, there's no music. So like when you're crossing into Pandora from normal Animal Kingdom, you'll have that kind of background music going on in the background. Then as you kind of crossing into Pandora, it changes to just like forest sounds and like. And it's very
immersive.
They've done
a really
good. They've done a really good job with both the physical kind of the visual theming,
definitely.
but also with the sound design as well. It's very, very clever. And I think that if you go into Animal Kingdom or if you're going to Disney World, you need to go and check it out and spend some time in Pandora.
But if, like I say, you could just do one ride there, I'd say to do Flight of Passage because it's awesome. It really is.
The Na'vi River Journey is nice.
Yeah.
Flight of Passage is incredible.
Yeah.
So if you've only got a choice of doing one, that's the one.
And also the queue for that one as well. The line, you know, going in there.
Oh, the line is incredible.
There's a lot to see in the queue, isn't there?
There's like a huge animatronic of a Na'vi, which are the blue alien type creatures from Avatar.
In a tank.
In like a submerged in I don't know what do you call that? It's like I don't know. It's like not cryogenically frozen, but it's in like it's underwater. It's amazing. It's incredible. Just the queue.
Yeah, and there's so much other things. That's what I love about Disney and the theme parks over there is you get that
theming's
wild. Theming, especially even in the queues. So
the thing is with Disney, they do the lines really, really well. Not only do they do the theming of the rides, but they spend a lot of time and money and effort trying to keep you entertained while you stood in line.
The sounds as well you get as well. That's amazing.
Well, yeah, the whole line's just like Avatar Flight of Passage has probably got one of the most impressive queue lines that I've ever been in. It's got like some of the best, one of the best animatronics anywhere, I would say, and it's just in the line. So It's pretty incredible, and I think if you go in, you definitely need to take the time and go and visit Pandora World of Avatar.
Yeah, it's such an impressive ride, that one. You know, you go in on these banshees. They're called banshees?
Yeah, banshees, yeah.
And, you know, it's
what's the real name from it? Ikrons or something, but they call them banshees. Call it banshee. Just call it banshee.
Yeah, so you kind of, it's almost like a simulator, isn't it? Because you know.
Yeah, but you basically straddle this kind of, it looks like a motorcycle that you sit on.
And you've all got your avatars, haven't you?
Yeah, because if they turn you blue, it makes you get, it's a whole thing. I'm not going to spoil it too much for everybody. I won't get into it, just enough to say that it's really, really good. There's a lot going on. There are smells on the ride. There's physical effects like the banshee. You can feel it like breathing underneath you. It's weird. It must have like airbags in the like motorbike thing. It looks like a motorbike, doesn't it? Like that you sit on.
You really do feel like you're flying a banshee.
It's mad. It's 3D. It's just everything. Sound.
So impressive. So
sound design, so good. Really, really good. Don't miss that. Okay, moving on. Just referring to my notes. And we're going to go with, should we just go down the list?
Yeah, just go down the list.
We'll just go down the list. Okay, we're going to go over to Hollywood Studios now. And pretty much, this is going to sound a bit like second verse, same as the first, innit? But Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios.
And you don't necessarily have to be, you know, a Star Wars fan, because
I think this is the important thing to get over with Galaxy's Edge, right? I think some folks are just like, oh, I'm not bothered about that. I'm not really into Star Wars. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Go to Galaxy's Edge. It is wonderful. I like Star Wars. I don't dress up at the weekends or anything as a Jedi. Nothing wrong if you do like doing that, but I don't. Having said that, you know nothing about Star Wars. Would you say it's fair to say that?
I've probably seen maybe one or two of the movies.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm really...
How many movies are there?
I wouldn't even know.
Okay.
So I'm not a fan. You can probably tell.
She's not a fan.
Yeah.
But
I appreciated Galaxy's Edge.
But is Galaxy's Edge fantastic, or is it fantastic?
Of the attractions there were amazing, so yeah.
I think Galaxy's Edge, I know we just said that the sound design at Pandora was good. I think Galaxy's Edge is even better.
Yeah.
I think they've done such an amazing job.
Oh my goodness, the detail as well. The detail
for me, I'm a bit of an audio nutter. I like sound. And the thing that really got me was when I went to Galaxy's Edge on my own, actually, didn't I? I went there before you experienced it. I went on my own one time. And as I was walking into Galaxy's Edge, it literally sounded like there was a spaceship flying over my head. And that's all just done with sound design. There's nothing there. It's just sound. But to be able to do that so convincingly, like I genuinely thought something flew over my head, even though I know it didn't really, because it's Star Wars, right? And I'm in a theme park, and I just walked through like Toy Story Land, which is a completely different land, also good, but not as good as Galaxy's Edge in my opinion. And I was just like, this is incredible. Now, if it's doing that to me, who's not even I like Star Wars, but I'm not like a crazy fan. I can imagine that if you are like,
oh yeah.
Because that's just before we get to the fact that there's the Millennium Falcon just like parked there.
Well, that's what I mean. That
which is just
in itself is
astonishing.
It's so super impressive. So,
and then you've got the rides.
Yeah.
So you've got Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, which is good, and then you've got Rise of the Resistance, which is another level of good. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a whole experience. That attraction. It is an attraction. It's not. I don't think it's right to call it a ride, but I think you need to do specifically. Again, we cheated a bit with this one. Can you tell we're cheating because we've lumped like 3 or 4 things into one, a bit like we did Pandora. But really, what we're saying is Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, if you're going to do one attraction at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, you need to be getting on Rise of the Resistance, because it. You know, even me, that's not like, I don't really know everything about Star Wars, but I still really enjoyed it. I loved, you know, oh my goodness, the experience getting onto the ride as well is even incredible, you know.
It's really kind of, a ride of. It's not a ride. It's an attraction.
And it's an experience.
It's an experience. Yeah, it is an experience. That's the right way to put it. Because if I'm being honest, the ride itself, good as though it is, that it's almost secondary to the whole experience of actually making it to the ride park.
Yeah, making your way over to that place because you just see so much stuff, don't you?
Oh my God, there's so much going on. And some of the guys, the cast members who work there, who play like members of the Resistance or members of the First Order, are just like so good as well, though. They completely
they get into character.
Yeah. And you'll get the one who's really like real mean, giving you the mean look, the side eye, you know, from the First Order. When I'm sure I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's just really, really good.
You can't miss that one.
For me, it's been like the closest to actually being in a movie without actually having been in a movie.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, actually.
Because it feels like you're on a Star Destroyer. And this is like the line. Again, going back to that thing about Disney just crushing it when it comes to making you stand in line. It's a pleasure to stand in line because the line is just so detailed. And it moves in such a way that you start off in a Resistance base and it feels like you're underground in a Resistance base. And then there's a spaceship journey, and then you get captured and you're on a Star Destroyer and it feels like you're on a Star Destroyer. Yeah. And the stormtroopers.
Oh, the stormtroopers,
which are animatronic. And it's just like mind-blowing stuff. It is absolutely wild. Definitely, you've got to do that.
And out of the two, I would say to do Rise of the Resistance. Although Smuggler's Run is good.
Although Smuggler's Run is pretty good. And in fact, at least one of our children preferred Smuggler's Run to...
you're always going to do more than this. But you know what? We're just really pinning it down.
Yeah, so if you were my pal now and we were sat in a pub or something...
You had to choose one.
Going like, what should I do? I can only do one. Which one should I do? I would tell you to do Rise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
That's how we're trying to approach this list. Okay. Next on the list, and we'll change it up a little bit, we're going to Magic Kingdom, and we've gone for, because we did discuss this together, a classic.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I do want to say at this point that I would have gone with Splash Mountain here. 100%, hands down, stick a fork in me. Game blouses, it's over. Because for me, that was Disney World.
Yeah. See, yeah,
it was Disney World, let alone Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I love Splash Mountain. It's an iconic theme park, but there's certain memories you've got from being a kid as well, haven't you?
Splash is gone.
But Splash Mountain is gone.
It's gone. So forget Splash Mountain. So what I've gone for instead is
it's coming back though. Should we say it is?
Well, it's coming back as
with a new theme.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which I'm hearing good things about, by the way, everybody. So take it from somebody who's very worried because I loved Splash. It was my all-time.
Yeah, it does take
probably my all-time favourite ride.
Being a child, yeah.
But I'm hearing really, really good things about Tiana's Bayou Adventure. However, what we've gone for here is we've gone for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's been there years, hasn't it?
It wasn't quite an opening day attraction. It didn't open when the park opened. No, it didn't.
Oh, right.
What happened was basically there was a Pirates of the Caribbean in Disneyland in California. Obviously, that opened first. Mm-hmm. And then when they opened Magic Kingdom, I believe, it was Magic Kingdom. But when they opened, I don't believe it was an opening day attraction. And people were like, where the heck is Pirates of the Caribbean? And so they were like, we'd better get a Pirates of the Caribbean open day pretty quick. I think I'm right in saying that. I'm sure there's somebody who'll tell me I'm wrong in the comments. But,
it's an iconic. It is an iconic ride.
I just think like we're going for things like I know it's not right. It's an oldie but a goodie. Yeah, it's old but gold, and yeah, there is a little bit of, if from a personal point of view, there's a lot of nostalgia there.
Yeah, for me as well. But
I think it says. I just think it's just classic Disney.
The detail in it is just amazing, though. All the animatronics used. It's had some minor changes over the years.
Yeah, it's gone through quite a few things. Obviously, they added Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's character from Pirates of the Caribbean, Captain Jackie, was added. I'll have to check my details on this, but he was added some time ago. Let's put it that way.
It's definitely good for a cool down as well when you've been outside in the hot sun.
It's nice, isn't
Yeah.
it? But I think,
But it's just,
I think it just gives you all the Disney feels. It's like it's one of them. Even when you stood in the line, it's done like a Spanish fort. There's loads to see in there.
Yeah, it's dark, isn't it? But
it's dark and it's cool as well. Which, let's be honest, is nice.
The detail is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Everything.
soundtrack's good. You know, you got the
Yo
sound.
ho, a pirate's life for me.
And a pirate's life for me too, because that's why it made it on this list. It's just the other. It's funny because the first two rides we talked about were like really cutting edge, weren't they? Like we're talking about like Pandora.
It's a different, this
is different.
It's a different speed. This one, isn't it? But
but still really, really good. I think. Have you even been to Magic Kingdom if you haven't ridden Pirates of the Caribbean? And that's why I've put it on this list.
Have you not seen those dirty pirate feet? Not been to the Magic Kingdom.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, you've not been on the ride yet.
Yeah. But the dirty pirate feet hanging down. See detail? Yeah. You've got dirty feet.
Yeah. By the way, I do have another. If you don't know, folks, I have a channel called Fun Florida Attractions, which has actually got a lot of these ride throughs on it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, some of the clips that I've put over the top as we've been talking are from that channel. So if you want to go and see the full ride throughs, link is in the description down below. Little plug there for my other channel.
Oh yeah. But yeah, you get to experience a ride before you've even gone. So
yeah, should you wish to do so. Now, next on the list is, and I'll just refer down to it now, is, okay, so we're going for another pretty much brand new at this point.
We're getting, it's a newbie, and it's all the cutting edge technology I think they've got now.
Now this one's at Epcot. You may even know what we're going to say. And would you like to tell everybody what it is?
It's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Taking you back to the 80s.
Do you know what? This ride is 50% soundtrack.
You think? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So good. If you get, I'll be honest, some tracks work better than others. There's a lot of different music tracks you can get. But if you get like Gloria Estefan or something like that. Oh, yeah.
I can hear it now.
Yeah. It's an absolute ripper. What a good ride. I was worried about this because when they said they were getting rid of Ellen's Energy Adventure, which was there before.
I absolutely loved.
Again, from childhood, that's always been there. Indifferent. It's not always been Ellen. It used to be something else.
It's just always been such a great ride, we loved it.
But you knew it was on its way out, though, when you kind of used to go on it. And
there's no one there.
You'd have like seating in there for like 600 people, and there'd be 4 people in there, and 2 of them would be asleep. So you knew it was going. So I was a little bit worried when they said they were getting rid of it, and it took a very long time to complete, but they finally did Cosmic Rewind. And wow, it's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing. And then again, I have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm so bad. I don't watch any movies.
Kirsty just watches soap, not soaps, reality TV, My £600 Life and stuff like that.
I don't always watch that.
You've watched
90 Day Fiancé, that kind of thing.
90 Day Fiancé.
I do watch movies occasionally, but I don't know how that one passed me by. It's not really one I didn't.
It's because you're just kind of like superheroes and stuff. It's whimsical. I'm not interested.
Yeah, I do. I don't really like.
Says the person who likes to go to Disney World and stuff. She's not a huge fan of whimsical stuff.
But I need to watch it because the ride is amazing.
Yeah. I did that with Harry Potter, but that's a different theme park. We'll talk about that another time.
I've not even seen Harry Potter. I'm so bad. I really need to start watching some movies.
We'll talk about that another time. Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind. I think they're about to start doing. You at the moment you still have to get virtual queue like boarding groups for that, but I believe word on the street is they're about to do a normal line for it, so you might just be able to stand in line for it soon as well. But it's certainly going to be worth the wait, or worth trying to get them boarding groups, because very, very, very good ride.
Yeah, theming is amazing. Yeah,
really good. Again, it's another one that has a brilliant kind of pre-show and some really kind of wow things that happen before you even get on the ride. But then the ride itself is like brilliant. It's got a reverse launch in it and stuff, and it's just like I say, the soundtrack though.
Yeah,
it's the soundtrack that really kind of puts it over the top.
And I love the 80s and stuff like that. So
yeah. But I think even if you don't love the 80s, you're going to love this one. I've yet to meet somebody who's gone, I rode Guardians of the Galaxy and it weren't really for me. You know, I think you've got to do it.
Yeah.
You've got to do it, definitely.
It's got to be on that list.
It's on, and it is. It's on the list. Okay, so let's go back to, I'm trying to mix it around the theme parks. We're going back to Animal Kingdom again now. And if you're going to Animal Kingdom, you must do the safari.
Yeah, because if you go into Animal Kingdom, you know, you want to see some animals, don't you?
Want to see some animals in the kingdom, don't you?
Yeah, and the best way to do that is the safari.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, you feel like you're really, you know...
Well, first of all, it's
you're really
long.
on safari.
First of all, it's a long attraction, isn't it? I mean, how long is the safari, would you say? I can't remember, but I feel like it's a good 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say it's at least half an hour.
Yeah, I'd have to double check how long it exactly is, but you're in a proper, it's not like a track ride or a trackless ride. You're in actual trucks, and you go and you see actual animals, a lot of them. Sometimes.
Well, yeah, it's very dependent, isn't it, on...
But what I would say is...
how many are out that day.
It's very, very good either way. If you get to do one at night, that's brilliant because you'll see different animals at night. I don't know if they're still doing those at the moment. They did them. They certainly have done them in the past. Nighttime safari is really, really good. You'll see a lot of, like, you tend to see like more like hyenas and stuff like that because they come out at night.
And the guides are so good at pointing everything out to you, aren't they? They're always looking out for what animals are coming up.
But another tip I would have is if you can ever ride it first thing in the morning when it's cooler, you're probably going to see more animals. Or the best one ever, the best safari we ever did. Do you remember we went on just after it rained?
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
So we got to ride it once, and we were stood in line waiting for the safari, and the heavens just opened and it absolutely poured down, but it really lowered the temperature in the park. And when we went on that safari, I have never seen so many animals.
Yeah, and some of them coming close up to the...
That ostrich was like, the guy was like, okay, guys, there's an ostrich coming, like, right, yeah, maybe keep your hands inside the vehicle because it's right there. It's
Disney as well. You're not going to have any lions coming up to the truck because they're kind of at safe distance.
Well, yeah, they use like they look like they could, but obviously they can't because they've got like trenches and stuff.
Yeah,
I think they had to. I've done a short on this one time. I'd have to check my facts again, but I think it's something like a 20-foot trench or something, 20 foot wide by 12 feet deep to keep them
away. Yeah, and sometimes you hear them growl, which is pretty cool, because when you hear a lion growl, it's quite a thing, isn't it? It's loud.
Giraffes, they come right up to
that's
right
really
up
cool.
to your vehicle. The giraffes are really good. So
there's lots to see.
There's tons to see. The rhino are really good, aren't they? You'll see rhino.
You see the elephants. Noah loves the elephants. Our little boy.
Yeah, he does.
And I think it's a great ride. It's you're out there. You're in Animal Kingdom. You feel like you're in Africa, don't you?
It's an African safari.
Yeah, it does. It feels like you're there though. If you've not been lucky
it's certainly
lucky
very
enough to do that for real. You know, it's kind of like
it's certainly very good.
Gives you that vibe,
I think
doesn't it?
I think the fact that you are actually in an actual truck as well. It's not a ride, so the driver is actually driving. The bumps are bumping. Things are happening for real, and it's just a really good.
Yeah,
it's just a really
if you
good
can't
thing to
do it for real, it's kind of a good option. You
definitely
definitely feel like you're there. You're doing a real safari.
But try and do it for, I would say, first thing in the morning, or maybe grab a nighttime safari. They're fun, or like I say, if you can, just by pure luck, like we did, get out after it rained. We saw a lot of animals. And it's very, very good. So I would highly, highly recommend that you do that.
When you go to Animal Kingdom, that's got to be on your list.
For sure. Right, referring back to my list now. And, okay. So, not a ride this time, more of a show. And I'm going to say we're going to go to Magic Kingdom and we're going to go to Happily Ever After, the fireworks.
Yeah, it's a must-do. I mean,
it's properly good in it, Happily Ever After.
Yeah, and I think the technology they use now with all the projections is just taking it to that whole new level from when we used to go and do firework displays years ago. You know?
Now I've got to be honest. I'm a fireworks guy, not a projections guy.
Really?
I like the soundtrack. I don't particularly care about the projections.
Do we still get Tinkerbell in this one? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah. When she comes flying.
Because it was Happily Ever After.
Across the sky.
Then it was the 50th anniversary fireworks, which the name escapes me right now. But anyway, it doesn't matter because it's gone. And now we're back to Happily Ever. All I can think of is Harmonious, which is the Epcot one, and that's finished as well. But now we're back to Happily Ever After, and Happily Ever After is great. It's one of the best fireworks shows I've ever seen.
And it's just brilliant. Trying to get your spot, really.
But the music's fantastic. Yeah. The music is fantastic.
Because there's different points of view, isn't there?
Yeah, the projections are good. One of my favourite places to watch it. If you want to see the projections, obviously you need to be in front of the castle. So you need to be on like Main Street, USA.
Can you actually pay to stand in some of these other areas now?
You can. Sometimes they do like dessert parties and stuff where you get like reserved. You can also use I was going to call it a fast pass. Of course, they don't do that anymore. I don't know. You used to be able to do fast passes where you could get like in like a reserved area on the greens. But honestly, some of the best places to see it is if you're down Main Street at the end near the train station. Obviously, you can shoot out as well after the fireworks and not get caught in the crowd.
It does get really busy.
It gets super crowded.
People are all getting a bit like trying to jump in and trying to get a good spot, aren't they?
For sure. And then everybody throws the kids on the shoulders and you just can't see. And my point is, most of the fireworks are up in the sky anyway, so like a lot of it doesn't. Like I don't really care because I'm not. Yeah.
But if you want to see the
projections are really good. But for me, they're not a main event. I like the music and I like the fireworks.
Yeah, nothing says Disney more than a firework display, does it?
No. If you don't care about projections and you're genuinely not bothered, behind the castle is one of the best places to stand to see the fireworks. So in Fantasyland, New Fantasyland, behind Cinderella Castle, you can stand there. It's much less crowded. You get a really solid view of the fireworks, all of the fireworks, and they're going off all around you because they're being launched from behind the castle.
So I guess it depends on what you want to actually see. But if you want to see it all, it's good to get a place earlier because
for sure. If you want to
start, hanging about if you want a long time before, don't they?
Yeah, a good hour before. You're gonna have to kind of stake your claim and be ready to like defend.
Oh, yeah, because people love to jump in, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
And kind of squeeze in and say, my party's over there,
Yeah, I mean, literally, we've had it where you stood there, like Kirsty and I are here on the sofa like that, and someone will just come in between you like this. Yeah. For those of you who are listening to this, I've just kind of squeezed myself in.
People get...
You've got to defend.
Yeah, they're brutal, aren't they? When
but they can
the fireworks are on.
They can be. People, they forget their manners when the fireworks are on. It happens. But yeah, fireworks, definitely you need to see it. If you're going to only see one fireworks show, I think you need to see Happily Ever After because, in my opinion, it's the best one.
Yeah,
it's
and
the best one.
It's really so good. Magical. I think it's the music.
The music's awesome, yeah. The soundtrack's brilliant.
Yeah, it just feels so magical and you're in that kind of just wonderland, aren't you? It's just amazing.
It is. It's one of the. I think people go like, "Oh, it's magical," and I think it gets used a lot that about basically everything. Oh, hot dogs are magical, aren't they? They're not, but I think it can feel it feels special when you're watching those fireworks.
And I think if you've got children
Main
with
Street,
you as well,
yeah, we've got kids and. Being able
to see
see the little faces, and it's just like because it's all the music that they know from the films, and but also the fireworks, and it's just brilliant. It's a great ending to a day at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, to a wonderful day at Magic Kingdom. Yeah, you've got to end it with fireworks. So
yeah, if you can stay up that late.
Yeah, because it can get pretty late, and if you've been wandering around all day, you can get tired.
Yeah, maybe do that midday break. Okay, so next on the list that you have to do, going back to Epcot, I'm going to say, well, do you want to say this? Soaring.
Yeah, it's one of our favourites, isn't it?
Do you know the thing with Soaring is it's kind of exciting, but it's not going to make you ill, is it? You know what I mean? It's like even like my dad, who is, God love him, he's not a fan of a roller coaster or a simulator. He suffers quite badly with motion sickness. Even he can ride Soaring and enjoy it. And I think the thing is with soaring, I think most people, if not everybody who comes off it, goes, that was good. I really enjoyed that. I think it's just a good attraction.
Yeah.
And I'm a bigger fan of it now. Not because they changed the film a few years back. It used to be soaring over California. Now it's soaring over the world. So you go to different locations and they changed the soundtrack slightly. But more the fact that they opened a third theatre. There's 3 theatres now because a queue used to get
oh my goodness. It was so long.
Stupid long for soaring. But now the line's really manageable. Like it's generally not these, well, it does get up there sometimes, but more often than not, you're looking at like maybe like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's a good attraction.
Oh, and you get those smells when you can smell, so many, you just, it's so immersive because you're watching the film and you kind of, it feels like you're flying through the air.
The one thing I'm going to call it out on, because we've praised the other rides for having it, is I think the queue for soaring is a bit boring.
Yeah, they sometimes have a few activities.
They do have activities now.
Points.
They do have activities now where you can play like on the Disney app. You can do like quizzes and stuff. So that's made it better because it used to be really not a lot going on.
Yeah.
But the ride itself is great, and I think if you're looking for something to do at Epcot that everyone will enjoy.
Which is your favourite bit in soaring? Which scene?
That's really hard.
Yeah, I just wondered. There's always one bit that makes me jump.
I know the bit you mean. It's where the plane flies up, or is it when the bird gets...
The bird.
The eagle.
Yes, the eagle. When the eagle comes, I know it's coming. I know it's coming, but it always makes me jump.
It's really loud. It's really loud.
Yeah.
It kind of... I was going to do like a bald eagle sound effect then.
I
But it
really
makes like a really
like...
loud sound.
There's a couple of bits I really like. Is the elephants when they throw the dirt.
Yeah, it smells like cut grass, like fresh cut grass as you like flying over the elephants and stuff.
And also another bit I like is when you're going over the beach and it smells.
It's supposed to be Tahiti.
Yeah, it smells.
And there's
so
got
good.
like people in like longboats, like canoe type things.
Yeah.
And it's just a great. I think it's just a good attraction, good all round attraction. That I think if you go into Epcot, you should make the time and go and do soaring.
Fly around the world. It's great.
There you go.
If you could fly, this is what it feel like. But also, I want to say with that ride, I always get a bit like, well, where are they going to put me on the, because there's different places you can sit.
This is true. This is true.
Better places that you sit on this particular ride. So if 100%. I think does it go like they've got different concourses, haven't they? So you've got concourse A,
B, and C.
B, and C. Now, if you get concourse B in the middle, you'll be right in the middle of the screen. And then even better if you get row two.
Oh, is it A, B, or C again?
I think it's 1, 2, and 3. Right. So if you get row 2,
middle row,
you're going to be in the middle of the screen.
In the middle
row, because they have different levels. They go up to 3 different levels.
Yeah, because it's really high, isn't it?
Yeah.
It
if you get that high level, it doesn't.
It's still good.
Yeah, you can sometimes see the edges of the screen.
It's still good, but you can sometimes see the edges of the screen.
But if you get that middle level in the middle concourse, you get the best. It just, I think everything just feels, better. Yeah. You don't get to see the edges, and I think everything on the screen looks better as well. It looks more central. Yeah,
because it is sometimes on like an ultra wide angle lens or whatever. You sometimes get that distortion.
Yeah, and you get the
curve. This is an ultra wide curved screen.
So I just always think when they put me there, I'm like, yes, I got the best bit, the best place on soaring.
Best of the best of the best. It's good.
Yeah,
it's
good. It's good. Even if you're not in that particular position, it's still amazing. So do that one.
All righty. Next one. Going back to Animal Kingdom. And again, not a ride.
Attraction.
An attraction. And I'm going to say it's the Festival of the Lion King.
Yeah.
Which is a musical theatre piece.
Yeah, and
it is.
It's so great. It's really interactive as well, isn't it? Because beforehand,
there's a lot of crowd participation.
Yeah, and they're getting everyone,
fired
coming
up,
in,
aren't they?
Before the show, and there's different things they'll do with the audience, it's really fun. But we've always enjoyed it.
I think the testament here is that This is something that I've done. I will do once every single time that I visit, and I don't like musical theatre.
Yeah.
It is not for me. I'm not a fan of a musical, and this is still a really good show. It's really good, though.
I mean,
like it's world class good. It's really
the
really
Lion
good.
King music is.
I mean, Lion King music
is great,
obviously.
you know, and we all like, you
But
know, we all know it,
performers-
don't we? All sing along to it, but
But it's live music. They're
Yeah.
singing live, and the performers are just so good, aren't they?
yeah, and it. Yeah, I'd watch it over and over again because I always come out thinking, "Oh, that was amazing."
But I think
you know?
I think the thing is, it's got a really good amount of variety in it as well. It's not just the songs from the film. The songs from the film feature heavily.
Yeah.
But there's also like and the back now as well. They have these guys called the Tumble Monkeys who are just like basically guys just dressed up like in monkey suits.
Yeah,
aren't
I'd
they,
forgotten
basically?
about that actually.
Who are acrobats basically, and they're really good. And they actually weren't in it for a period of time. They went away after COVID. They didn't come back, but they're back now, and I'm really happy that they're back because they're a really good part of the show.
And you've got people dancing with fire, haven't you? Like,
Oh yeah, you've got fire eaters and stuff like that. But then you've also got professional ballerinas who do like the aerial stuff,
like bird display, like
so good.
I think
They're so
that's
good,
to,
and even it.
Can You Feel the Love
Can You Feel the
Tonight?
Love
Yeah,
Tonight?
and
Yep,
it's so
yep.
beautiful the way it's done, and you know,
Again,
it's
the production on
brilliant.
the production on that is just like world class.
You feel like you've had a trip out to the theatre, don't you? You know, it feels like that.
For me to like it, right? I am not a fan of this type of stuff. I'm a bit of a heathen when it comes to stuff like this. A bit of a Neanderthal. I don't like stuff like that, and I like that.
Yeah.
So for me to say that, I think if you're a fan at all of that type of thing, it's going to blow your socks off
The
because
Lion
I don't
King,
even like that type of
you
game.
know, and it fits so well, obviously, into the Animal Kingdom theme park,
Yep.
and it just gives you that vibe. You know, it's just you feel like
It's pure Disney.
it's just Disney, and it's
Just pure Disney. Hook it to my veins.
it's all about the animals, and you've got to do it.
Okay, this is the 9th thing on our list, so we're getting through there. We're going back to Epcot. And
Another newbie.
no, it isn't.
Oh,
It isn't new.
oh, I'm thinking of something else. Actually, no, it isn't,
Which also isn't at Epcot.
and it isn't at Epcot.
Oh God, you just ruined that. The last thing is maybe. Doesn't matter. We'll carry on. No, we're going at Epcot, and it's going to be. Go on, I'll let you read it off the list.
Well, this is one of my all-time favourites. It's Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth. It's the big golf ball.
Yeah.
I know I've just upset quite a lot of people by calling Spaceship Earth a golf ball, but it looks like a golf ball. There you go. I've said it. Unsubscribe. Whatever. I don't care.
It's amazing. I mean,
it looks like a golf ball. It's amazing. I love Epcot. I love Spaceship Earth.
yeah. Again, it's probably
I love the look of it.
There's quite a lot of nostalgia with this one as well because
I love the smell of it.
it's been there for years, hasn't it?
Smells.
It's had a big update though, didn't it? At one point,
It did have it's had
there's
a
a
couple.
new narrator.
It's had a few narrators since I've been going to. Let me see. It's been.
Is it Judi Dench now?
Dame Judi Dench now.
Yep.
Dame Judi Dench.
Sorry,
you will give
I
her a
missed that
full
bit.
title. It's Dame Judi Dench now. Since I've been going, it was Walter Cronkite. It was somebody else before Walter Cronkite, and I forget, but I did hear it. And then it was Walter Cronkite. It was Jeremy Irons did it for a while. There's been a few narrators.
I didn't really think there'd been that many.
Oh yeah, I'd have to look it up exactly how many narrators there's been, but I've heard several off the top of my head. I can remember Walter Cronkite. I can remember like I say, Jeremy Irons, and it's Dame Judi Dench right now. And I've heard, I think one other. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah,
it was another American chap.
It's brilliant though. You know, you go through all the the different eras, don't you? And it's
so good.
Again, it's lots of animatronics, and it's a nice kind of restful ride, isn't it? Almost.
It's in much the same way that Pirates of the Caribbean is pure kind of classic Disney. Spaceship Earth is classic Disney.
Yeah, and
it's tons of animatronics, as you say.
Yeah, and you all want to know what's in that golf ball, don't you? Sorry, I said the golf ball again. You always want to know what's in there. You always want to know what's in Spaceship Earth. So that's the only way to do it. You've got to ride it.
You've got to ride Spaceship Earth. You have to do it. Like, how can you? Are you honestly going to tell me that you're going to go to Epcot and you're not going to ride Spaceship Earth? You're going to ignore it. You're just going to walk past that. And the good thing about
Spaceship Earth as well is the queue does kind of move through quite quickly.
It's an omni-mover type ride, so
it's always moving.
Loads really, really quick.
Yeah.
And it is, if nothing else, a really lovely sit down.
Yeah, it's a good iconic ride.
After a busy day.
You know, it's Spaceship Earth is Epcot, isn't it? You know, it's...
Well, it is. Yeah. I mean, it's the symbol, isn't it? It's the icon of the park. And, I mean, this isn't actually Spaceship Earth, but I'm going to loop it in there. But the show that they do now on the outside of Spaceship Earth... I'm cheating. I'm just adding things as we go. We're making it up as we go along this, aren't we? But on the outside of Spaceship Earth that they do at night with the lights now, and it's so good.
Yeah, when you see it, when you're coming into the car park and you see it there, Spaceship Earth, it's amazing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
I think it stands up. I'd be hard pushed to pick between.
Yeah, I'd actually,
you know, like which one's your favourite park?
Yeah, I'd actually say it's Epcot for me. I don't know. I like things about the future as well.
It's really difficult.
I do like things about the future and space and stuff like that. So for me,
between that and the castle, it's a really
I'd have to say Epcot. I would. Yeah. A lot of people don't agree with me because they think it's boring.
What, the park or the icon?
Just generally, they feel it's a more boring park, but I just don't agree with that.
I'm not seeing it. There's loads of really good stuff to do at Epcot.
And now they've incorporated, say, like Frozen, and it's kind of brought it more...
yeah, but I was sad when Maelstrom went.
Well, yeah, because that's, again,
Frozen.
A great ride. But now they've incorporated Frozen. I think it's made it more... And Ratatouille as well. I think more kids...
And Guardians, you know, they're bringing...
The kids are coming over to that one now, aren't they?
They are. I mean, I've always loved Epcot. I'll love it even more when they finally finish it.
Yeah, it's been going ripping it to bits. Going on a long time, that hasn't
Well,
it?
I think COVID slowed things down quite a bit, didn't it? But the whole Epcot's just like a massive dirt pit in the middle at the moment, which does take, for me, it's probably my favourite park overall. But I think that's taken the shine off it a little bit. But that being said, Spaceship Earth is still awesome, and I would still recommend that you go there. Yeah,
you've got to do it. You've got to go on Spaceship Earth. You've got to see what's in there. And when you get to the top, I won't even say what's there, because if you're going for the first time, you're going to find out what's at the top.
You can watch a full ride through on Fun Florida Attractions if you wanted to.
But yeah, it's cool. It's a great ride. It's awesome.
Right. Enough messing about. Last thing on the list. Back to Magic Kingdom.
May have given it away on the last one, but it's Tron, the new one.
Tron. It's on the list. We put it on the list. Controversial. I know mixed feelings about Tron from a lot of people. I think you need to do it because there's nothing else like it at Disney.
And also...
Or maybe anywhere in Orlando, thinking about it.
Do you not think you'd say it's like because of the sitting on a bike?
The bike situation's very similar to
Hagrid's.
Oh yeah.
You forgot about that one.
But Hagrid's, you don't sit the way that you do on Tron.
No, that is true, yeah.
Tron's more like the ride vehicle for Pandora World of Avatar. I remember me saying it was a bit like a motorcycle earlier.
Yeah.
It's that type of situation, isn't it?
I remember when we went a few years ago and they had the bikes out, didn't they?
Yeah.
And you could sit on them. Mm-hmm. And I said, watch Tron.
Yeah, Kirsty doesn't know what Tron is.
I didn't even know what Tron was.
I just hit the camera. Sorry, everybody, if you're watching on YouTube. Things will have shaken a bit. So,
yeah, I didn't. I'd never seen it.
And I said...
Didn't know what it was.
And I said, just be quiet. Because there's people here who can hear you. But the ride itself is brief.
Yeah, that's the only thing. It's very short. It is very short.
But
good.
The soundtrack is killer. Daft Punk. It's amazing. The whole area of Tron, they've done a really, really, really good job of integrating that new attraction into the Tomorrowland situation back there. Like, they've really given it some thought. The way that the building is structured, when you're weaving your way through the queue line, there's like one point where you kind of round a corner and the building arches over and it frames Space Mountain perfectly in the background. Somebody's thought about that. And this is what I was talking about, like queue lines and design and where Disney really shine. That's where they really shine, because it would have been so easy to just go like, right, we're having a queue and we're just going to bang it here. But they were like, no, let's not do that. Let's just have it meander around this way a little bit, because then as they come around this corner, they'll get this lovely reveal of Spaceship Earth, going back to what I call, of Space Mountain.
Yeah.
And it looks like it was meant to be there. So I think that's really clever the way they've done that.
Question for you is, do you think now that, because Space Mountain's always got a long wait, hasn't it?
Space Mountain.
Yeah. It's always got a long wait. Do you think that's going to take the heat off Space Mountain now?
I think
it's an old ride, isn't it?
I think anytime they open, I mean, no, I don't. It's still busy. Space Mountain's still busy basically every day.
Yeah.
I think anytime they open a new attraction, you'd like to think that because it kind of eats a lot of people, that would in some way make some of the other attractions less popular.
Yeah.
Never really seems to work
just think
that
there's
way
more
at Disney.
people going now,
I think simply more people turn up. So no, in answer to your question, no. I don't think it does, or it doesn't. And also, I don't think we can talk about Tron without talking about the launch. The launch out of the initial launch before you enter the grid. The initial launch where you go outside is fantastic. It's probably worth it just for that. If that was the ride, and then they just went cheers and let you off,
would you
then
say,
it's probably still worth it.
So yeah, and it's,
I just think you got to do it.
Yeah, it is cool, and it's so futuristic, isn't it?
It's a soundtrack.
Yeah.
The whole area, if you walk around that whole area, it's just, the soundtrack's just, like when people go, oh, it's epic. It's actually like, it is an epic soundtrack. And I think for me personally, that's, yeah,
you've got to do it.
You've got to do it, man.
But this is the thing with this list. It's, you're going to do more than this on your first trip, aren't you?
Of course, you're going to try and do it all. This is really just trying
to pin it down to things that we would say, if I was talking to a friend, I'd say, don't miss this.
Well, circling back.
Don't miss these attractions.
Circling back, there was genuine stress went into putting this list together. And loads of times I was just like, no, not putting that on our list. Would you really tell somebody that they had to do it? Like, you can't. How do you come up with a list of just 10 things when they've got 4 theme packs that are just packed with
this is it?
Stuff
but
that's so good.
I would always do this. I'd always say, like, do this ride to people that are going for the first time. And,
because they're not. Again, going back to it, this is not necessarily what we would do.
No,
like I would happily. We'll do it. I'm not going to spoil it. We'll do it in another episode. What we would like, what our perfect kind of top 10 at Magic Kingdom would do, or whatever. But like, I would be quite happy riding the People Mover all day.
Yeah, so
but you're not going to do that on your first time, are you?
Everybody's different, and people might do these rides and not really rate them. Yeah. They might prefer something else. But if I was telling someone that was going for their first time, these are definitely winner rides, aren't they? And attractions.
Hand on heart, if you're watching this on YouTube now, you or I were to sit down and have a conversation as friends, and you said, right, what's the 10 things that I just have to do? We've thought about this, and I think you would have a good time
if that's all you did.
Those were the only 10 things you did.
But of course, that's not all you're going to do, because these theme parks keep you busy all day long, and
every day
you're going to do much more than that. But it's great. These are classic, attractions and rides that we would recommend.
Yeah, a lot. I think, like I say, I think if you just did those 10 things, you could go and say I had a good time.
Yeah,
I think that's
most definitely
the main aim of this.
You would have a magic time.